Boys, welcome to today's video, and we're at the shop. You can see we had to move the Mustang out, and we're trying to make a little bit of room in here for another car. So we have the enclosed trailer here in the new project. What are we calling this thing? I don't know.
What do you call something when like you want something but you don't need it?
But then you buy it.
You probably shouldn't have done it, but you're glad you did, but you didn't.
But then you bought it anyhow.
Yeah. Because of situational circumstances.
Because things happened, and things happened, and then you decided to do things, but you kind of wanted to do it, but you just...
You know, we need one of those astronomy women to come tell us about the planets being in retrograde, and that's why things happen.
And why they lined up and made this work. So we're going to clean the lens real quick.
Take that filter out.
So, the car that I got from my buddy Nick, which is the guy who owns Creative Auto, which is also Ty's brother. And so he's where we get all our windows tinted and all that stuff. So he's had this car for about 3 years now, and I've always kind of bugged him about getting it from him. And recently, I've just been looking for one, you know, on Facebook Marketplace and all that stuff to actually buy for a little build. You know, I think it's one of those cars where you're always just waiting for like a clean one to just show up for like a street car build. And due to COVID and all that other type of stuff, he finally decided that it was time to sell it. So helps me out a little bit by providing me a clean car that I don't necessarily have to do paint and body work and stuff to. It already runs and drives. It's already painted and did the paint and body work, but it still needs finish. So I would say it's about 80% to be a complete running, driving, all together car. Maybe a little bit more than that, maybe 83%, something like that. But enough yapping about that thing. I know I shouldn't have bought it, but again, it's one of those things. When it happens, you just got to do it. So we kind of bought this thing for a similar thing, and then we decided no.
That thing turned out to be a bigger piece.
It turned out to be a bigger thing. So here we go, boys. Woo! This right here is a 1996 Honda Civic EK hatch, and as you can see, it comes with some extra parts, some suspension bushings, some head studs, some new plugs and wires, a little bit extra paint, new clutch, some seat rails, some SI seats, and some other stuff. So I guess enough talking about this thing. We're gonna, I mean, it's almost clean. It's like, it's almost there. It needs cut and buffed. Brandon actually painted it at his shop right before he went down to, he's down in Texas right now doing some health stuff. So we're gonna roll it out of the trailer, probably rinse it off so we could actually see what we're dealing with here, and then we actually need to get cutting and buffing on it. Yeah. Because this thing, I want to, I want to get her going and looking nice and be able to drive it here soon. And if it's just sitting here not cut and buffed, then we can't do that. So yeah, we're gonna get her unloaded. Dusty.
Oh, it's premium. Look at this thing.
OEM.
OEM.
Look at that paint though. It's good looking paint.
Yeah. It's a cool color.
So Nick basically just started cutting and buffing it, and he wasn't comfortable with it, and he actually wanted me to come over and help him cut and buff it, and then I was supposed to, and I was gonna, and then we didn't, and I told him I wanted to buy it, and he didn't want to sell it, but then he did want to sell it, but he wasn't sure if he should, and then I wanted to buy it, but I wasn't sure if I should, and then we ended up doing it, and now I get to cut and buff it. But we have side skirts, all that stuff over here in the back. We have, this is like an Alcantara, like, no, maybe not, it's suede, like foam back headliner stuff that's gonna go in here. Have the gas door, just had to have a little bit extra paint mixed up. But have everything basically to put it back together. and we'll show you under the hood. All right, boys, so this is I think it's the USDM one, or maybe whatever. It's just a B16, non-LSD tranny, but you know, decent little swap. Everything's really clean. It's super simple. It's just crazy how good these things actually look with a like a B16. Obviously, I want to do like a red valve cover, and might do like a little spoolie boy or something up on the front of that thing.
You like wrinkle red more than?
I like the wrinkle red. Yeah.
I like wrinkle black.
I like the
brand new wrinkle black looks.
I think brand new wrinkle red. I mean, we have we have a spare valve cover, so we could play with it or whatever. Yeah. But paint the engine bay. It has a brand new battery in it. OEM hardware right here. Brand new 10 mils. Nick does stuff like that where he just like he'll go to Honda and spend like freaking $300 on bolts. As you can see, he's got like these new lower control arms and stuff in here. Some lug nuts. Distributor cap rotor. A bunch of little suspension bushings, ARP head studs and bolts. And then the funny thing is you guys might actually recognize this tote from a long time ago. I actually sold him a lot of B16 parts, and I included this tote full of parts, and he ended up selling a lot of that stuff because he didn't need it because this thing was already B16 swapped. But I got my tote back today. And then also these are the 8th gen Civic SI seats, which is kind of like the lazy boy of Civic seats. So I think those will be pretty cool to go in there. I don't know what else to say. I think clean it up. I mean, if you guys have ever actually tried to find a clean Honda, it was funny back in the day in high school, like I had a couple clean hatches, you know, just kind of like in rotation. Like I'd buy one and drive for a little bit, turbo it, sell it, do that type of stuff. And I haven't had one, you know, I had one that I painted, and it was pretty clean, but this thing is basically that same car now, except for it's a way cooler color. So this is what do they call this? This isn't some sort of purple.
It's the OEM color.
Yeah, this is the color that it was, but it's the same color that like Emilio, like the Boosted Boy Emilio, that his car is, which they call Purple Rain. So also have a set of Koenig wheels for this thing, the feathers that are really cool that are going to be going on it. Bunch of little pieces and parts. Again, I know I need another Civic, like I need a hole in the head, but I think it'd be cool. Do some budget turbo stuff, play around with it. You know, I know that the built K-Series all-wheel drive stuff isn't super relatable, so you know, we'll show you guys how to have fun with one of these guys. And I don't know, I'm excited to start messing with it, but I want to get it cleaned up first. It's giving me anxiety looking at it like that. So now the car actually looks more like it should, an actual Civic, and it looks like something that you'd almost be proud that you actually bought. So this is the first time I've actually seen it with the bumper on it in person. Before it was just kind of how you guys seen it, where it was all covered in not overspray, but rubbing compound from cutting and buffing and doing stuff like that, and wet sanding it. So as you can see, the bumper has a lip, like some air brake ducts, or some ducts that would go to your brakes, and it actually has some holes already ready for some canards that are in the car somewhere. So yeah, a couple more things that we're gonna have to do is paint the side skirts and the little trim pieces on the side. Basically ran out of painting the car, and then when they got a match, they used a different paint, and it was a little bit different. So got some more paint for it. Got to repaint the mirrors, the wing, and some other little things like that. The roof on it is actually painted black right now, and tuxedo black, which is the same color that like is on the F-250s and stuff. Really cool color, as you can see. Yeah, the same color that's on the Supra. So basically what it needs right now is a lot of cutting and buffing. My plan is to basically run over the whole car with basically 1000 grit, 1500, 2000, and buff it, polish it, and then we'll probably end up doing like some ceramic coat stuff on it, just so that it's super easy and nice to wash. But yeah, interior stuff, already have a SI cluster for it. Want to swap out the steering wheel and then obviously put in either these seats or another set of seats. You know, and you know, if we could find a little bit more little interior pieces. So we have the door panel for it, and then we need to do the headliner. But overall,
should we do another emoji headliner, you think?
yeah. Do you guys want the emojis? Maybe we could find like a purple emoji headliner or something like that.
Purple dinosaurs. Purple dinosaurs.
Get like a Barney headliner or something for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we do have some other wheels for it too. They're black conic feathers, which are basically these, but an older version that I think actually look a little bit cooler. So we'll throw those on there, and yeah, basically just get this thing freaking cleaned up. It's gonna be about a solid day, I think, of cutting and buffing on this thing to actually get it where it needs to be. And I'm just excited to actually get everything all painted, get it buffed and looking proper, and then we could order some parts to make it go faster and do some stuff like that. All right, guys, so spent a little bit of time just kind of cleaning up the shop a little bit. We moved the C10 out just so we have a little bit more room. Kind of the plan is to still work on the S14. Obviously, that is not that's not going completely on the back burner, but I just kind of decided that, you know, due to what we have kind of going on time limit wise, I wanted to get a car like this together soon, and I think this was a good option. And you know, again, I wanted to kind of build both of these things eventually this year. So I went ahead, did a quick little, just a super quick buff with some just some compound on a wool pad on the little Milwaukee thing over there. And so yeah, this thing's super awesome. It's really nice for a bunch of like the little trim pieces and like that. I did a little test spot right there too. But again, that's just compound and all that other stuff. I'll put a link in the description for my Amazon affiliate account if you guys are interested. And then I think the next video you guys are gonna see tomorrow, since we have a project like this and it's kind of simpler, quicker work, and we can make some decent progress, I'd like to go daily and like daily uploads. So tomorrow you guys should be able to look forward to cutting and buffing this thing, and I'll be sure to try and kind of take you guys along with the process if you guys want to learn how to do it yourselves. And I just can't wait to get this thing looking actually proper and all together, because just seeing like this front corner right there, just imagine it with some cool wheels, this thing's gonna be freaking sick. It's crazy just how clean it is, and just nice having a car that's already body worked and all that stuff too, so you kind of focus on some of the fun stuff. I felt like, you know, I've been in the kind of the same spot with paint and body work for the past like freaking 6 or 7 years in this shop. I just felt like I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again. I want to do some cool stuff, so I like doing stuff like this. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys, and we'll see you later.